Hello. I'm going to be making this guide to show how to get this medal and all medals in one go. So originally the route used to be where you'd have to revisit 1-3 after like 4-2. Because there was at the time there wasn't any way to viably get this one consistently without getting FFRNG. Now, my current runs, I still rely on fast forwards, of course, since it's RNG, but I've been using a method that I have dubbed the alternate rewind glitch, as opposed to, the alternate timeline glitch that gets used for duping. But I have found a new method of getting up here. So there's 3 methods I've been using. They're all RNG based, so I haven't found a consistent strat to getting up here. But this is going to be kind of showing you how you want to route out. This is going to be only for original release though the concepts can still be applied to platinum hits. I have made a strat for platinum hits using the bomb that spawns this level for the alternate rewind glitch, but other than that, it should be relatively the same, all things considered. I'm going to demonstrate how the tricks are from slowest to fastest, and then I'll get onto the routing. So the first one is going to be the alternate rewind glitch. Compared to, I use Lotus's time as a reference, but compared to just doing the revisit, this actually loses around, I want to say, like 10 to 20 seconds compared to just revisiting 1-3, but that might just be me because I'm like not as good as Lotus. Yeah, I'll just show it off. So what you want to do is, I'll give it a quick little dirty explanation of how it generally works, but you're gonna like want to die when you shoot like your last thing, and then the game's gonna rewind you back to a point where it brings the last thing you shot back into your sweeper. Alright, so I'm gonna shoot it out, right? And then I'm gonna suck it up again, and then I'm gonna die. And hopefully, when I get rewinded up, it should bring me back to when it was out. So it has to be in my inventory when I die, and then it has to pull it back out from the rewind, and this is what will make it work. And then anything after that point, even if you still have it in your inventory after the rewind, the rewind will rewind its actions. So if I rewind now, it goes back up. And that's kind of the core basis of how this works. The route that I have made makes it to where I try to do this as like fast as possible. That's why I use a barrel here in the first place, because it kills you instantly instead of you kind of clipping through the floor to like kill yourself. It works with actually any piece of trash, and not ones that just explode and die, whatever. But this is like the fastest method I found and most consistent method that I found, quote unquote, because it's kind of RNG to get the barrel anyway. But I'm just gonna show you how it works here. So let's go here. So I shoot it like this twice, so we have like 2 opportunities. Though depending on how you space the time between you space your jumps, kind of determines on how hard it's going to be if you miss the first one. So we're going to do this. Shoot, suck up, shoot, suck up, and that's the one you're going to be jumping off, and then jump. And then the way you shoot, me shooting, jumping and then shooting, it helps the rewind or the retry go back to the point where you didn't suck it up, if that makes sense, right? If you were to just shoot on the ground, the retry kind of gets a little funny. This is like the most consistent way I've found, going back to the point where it sucks, it unsucks it up right here. And sometimes the retry can take you back to the point where it the barrel's still in your inventory. If you shoot that one out, it will still work, even if it's like even past the point where like it's still in it like 2 seconds before. It doesn't like it sounds like it doesn't make sense, but it still works. So it's gonna fall down, and the way you time this is kind of like it's really finicky. I like to do it like almost immediately as I get on. I like push myself up against to the barrel when I jump on it, and then I land on it and kind of line myself up a little more forward than back, and nowhere near the sides because you kind of fall off. So that's good. I do. It's kind of a good idea to also get like the little animation of Blinx like rolling on it instead of this animation. But we'll see if this works. So we're gonna rewind, and I'm gonna jump up like almost immediately. Yeah, okay, I was a little too late there. But yeah, you're gonna see it works again from that second one. So let's try this again. Something to note here as well. You're probably gonna have either your ball or your bell in your inventory, and sometimes the game likes to think that you're still holding trigger, your right trigger, so it'll sometimes shoot out. So a good note to know is to make sure you're holding trigger, so you're sucking up as you're going down, so it doesn't accidentally shoot out. So if I try to, it might shoot out here. We'll see. Okay, no, we're fine. But yeah, sometimes you'll get a double jump off of the barrel, and that's probably because you're kind of like jumping way too off the edge. I kind of like to do a little like spin on it. A lot of tricks like trash stacks, you kind of like turn around just so you don't get a double jump going off the edge. It's kind of the same way here, except you gotta like make sure you know where you are in the on the barrel, because it's a little finicky. All right, we're not gonna focus on how we're getting out quite yet. I'm gonna focus on the next way of getting up. So the next one is gonna be using was a stick barrel. Depending on how you get in, you can either shoot it through here, shoot it on the wall, against the wall. It doesn't really matter too much as long as you can suck up the barrel like from this area. I kind of learned this trick on 3-2. The bumpers can like help you pull up objects, but it just works the same way as jumping up. So you can like suck up, and then you jump up, and then it kind of pulls it. If it does it like this, it's a little harder to suck up the barrel, and sometimes it can fall through the ground. But you want this barrel to be on the FF platform, just like that. So you could jump and then suck up, and you got to make sure to not, suck it up. One thing to note, well, I'll show you how to get up here. This one's actually kind of perfectly placed, so I kind of like to go on the platform there and then jump up instead of going from the ground, because it could be a little difficult. But when it gets to the very top, so you gotta like time your jump, you can get it just like that. It's actually pretty simple. It's not. You get multiple chances to do it if you're doing it like this. And of course, the third way to getting this is with an FF. Alright, but I'll talk about like statistic stuff now, but it's interesting that the hardest strat to do is the least RNG, because every single strat that I have discovered and how to get the medal, I guess I didn't discover the FF strat, but it's all RNG. This is the least RNG bit because the barrel you need comes from the sky, and then sometimes you can get unlucky, and at the point that you're here, you can just get no exploding barrel at all. I don't know. I actually don't really know the odds of this one. I know the odds for the other ones. But this is like the only RNG trick part of the of this strat. But in terms of the getting the barrel here, I believe it's a 1 in 5 chance, because you're going to be getting this barrel from the enemies that shoot trash, because that object doesn't actually naturally spawn in this level. I could be stupid and it could be somewhere around here, I just haven't looked, but I've looked everywhere and I don't think it exists. It could be in the wall somewhere or some weird crevice that I just somehow haven't looked at. I can't find it. If someone could find it, please. That'll be the consistent strat. But you want to get it from the the Dust Herder and the Octoballoon over there. We won't be getting it from the... You can get it from this Octoballoon, but the way I've routed it kind of ensures that you're still going fast while relying on RNG stuff to, like, do its thing. But we don't do this one, so enemies that shoot objects, they have a 1 in 5 chance to shoot that specific barrel, as you can see, and it did it for me just there. So I feel like it's cope, I feel like it's a lot more for this barrel specifically, but it has a chance of shooting out 2 different types of regular red barrels. I think the one with the open top and then the one with the closed top has a chance of shooting out the trash can, and then a bench, and then the barrel with sticks. So it's a 1 in 5 chance. I don't know if there's anything else I can shoot out. I'm pretty sure that's all it. With the fast forward, I'll be starting from 1-2 to show you how to route it. Starting from 1-2 because that's where it starts. But with the fast forwards, you need 3. The chance of getting a fast forward crystal from any time control chance is a 1 in 6 chance, because there's the rewind, the fast forward, the pause, the records, the slows, and the hearts. And you get 2 chances for any of the enemies here. But the enemies that you would be doing, starting from 1-2, you won't be going for this one. You'll be relying on the Spiker, the Chronoblob, the Dust Herder in this area, and then the Spiker and the Dust Herder in that area. And then in 1-3, you'll be relying on the first Chronoblob over there, not the Octoballoon, and then the rest of the enemies, which is the Dust Herder, the Chronoblob, the Octoballoon, and the other Chronoblob there. The reason why I'm not like using all of the enemies as crystal chances is just proximity wise and how you want to route it. Though, to be fair, the fast forward is the fastest strat. No shit. And even if you were to go for this fast forward chance, it would still be faster than trying to get a barrel or doing the alternate rewind glitch. It's interesting because the hardest strat, it's kind of like they're the inverse of each other. The hardest strat is the less RNG one to do, and the easiest strat is the most RNG one to do. It's kind of interesting on how like inverse they are. But all right, I'm gonna start showing how to route here. So let me go ahead and go here, and so starting off from 1-2. The way you want to do this is like kind of whatever. Kill this Chronoblob. Get this medal. And kill that Spiker, kill this Spiker. And as I'm killing them, I'm actually going to be turning my camera around to be looking for crystals. Especially when I'm sucking up this ball, and sometimes the Dust Herder shoots like a barrel here, I'll be sucking up either trash from here or here. But I want to be turning my camera to see, do I see any fast forwards? This one, I shouldn't go for since it's a bit of a length away. Though, you can get up by going up here. But since you're going to want this gold in the middle, without activating the Tum-Tum, there's a way to not activate this Tum-Tum here. So say you got your fast forward crystal, right? And this is your setup. If you have a fast forward crystal, you would know in the run, there's hearts up there when you're trying to get that middle, because you usually go for this one first. So what you want to do instead, you want to go for these, because you have a fast forward opportunity. So you'd shoot over there, and there's a little sliver, I don't quite know, but I like to ride the wall, and it doesn't actually trigger the Tum-Tum to activate. So let me see if I can get this. It's pretty tough. There we go. I think you gotta aim like more to the right. It's pretty tough. Preferably want to get the rewinds over there. But yeah, that's the general idea. You either get a fast forward there or you don't. If you get a fast forward, ignore pretty much everything else. Like, don't get any of the pauses or rewinds because you're pretty much set. But assuming you didn't get the fast forward, you get your pause and you get your rewind. The way you want to approach, say you don't have a fast forward opportunity, you would do it normally. Get pause here instead. Shoot that way. Get this gold like this. Oops. Don't mess up like how I did. Get the medal here. Go down, assuming that you're still not going to get a fast forward. Getting this rewind. Don't look that way. Depending on how your crystal RNG is here, or where your crystals are on your bottom left, you can either go down there, or if you still have rewinds, go up here first and then get your pauses. If you're able to get your pauses going down like this, it is faster since you don't have to like turn around. But it's kind of, you gotta have to read the lay of the land. Make sure you're at least leaving with a rewind or a pause if you don't have a fast forward. So let me kind of demonstrate how this would look in a real run. Let's see. If the game gives me a pause here, I prefer to get it over anything else because I don't have to drop down or I don't have to turn around on the next set of pauses. Oops, I didn't want to get that. So I didn't get a fast forward at all. So I'm going to go for this route instead. If I had a fast forward, I'd go up to the right first, try not to hit the TomTom biker trigger. Alright, since I have rewinds right now, I don't want to drop down. Ignore that area. And I would look here too. There has been chances where I've had fast forward spawn here, like 3 and then 1. I'm like, oh shit! I go up here first, but I don't have any. So we're gonna go ahead and get our ball. We're gonna dip. And that's pretty much how you would want to play it. This is assuming we don't get a fast forward. If we get a fast forward, pretty much ignore everything else here and do the trick up until like the level up until whatchamacallit? The second heavy clip. I'll be going over the heavy clip stuff. It's not too hard. I'll go a little more in depth when I actually make like the full tutorial for originally sold medals, but starting off for 1-3, we're gonna still be looking for fast forwards. I'm gonna shoot this barrel here, and you're gonna want to kind of like go into the corner and using a full FDM. Depending on where your camera is, it kind of makes it to where you can fall out, but you want to like kind of get as much of an edge jump you can off the barrel. I believe that's what makes it work the most. And then when you go into the 16-ton weight, you want to do another double jump to make sure you don't fall through the ground. You just pretty much spam jump. It's not the hardest thing in the world. There's 2 ways in how to get through this. Yeah, there's a few ways you can get out of here. The way I had been doing it up until like a few days ago is by doing this and like kind of turn your camera back and forth using the little grate. You see the little grate there? I kind of like turn my camera back and forth like this, going diagonal into the into it, but sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes you'd be there for like 20 seconds and it just wouldn't work. And I'd be like shifting the way I move my stick, and like I'm like, oh, it doesn't work, man, what the hell. But I did find a new way of getting out, which is just literally jumping out. It's a little more finicky than it looks, actually, because say if you were to like try to do that, the camera turns in a weird way to where like it makes you go back into it. So if you go too fast going out of trying to go out of here, you can get some weird camera stuff. So what I like to do is I go in here, and if it hasn't pushed me out immediately, then I jump. Don't try to do like a full jump like that. Doing a jump and then a double jump immediately usually works. Do it again. Sometimes you will suck up that barrel. If you suck up that barrel first, you just do this and you'll suck up your barrel to kill the Kernel Blob later. And sometimes if this barrel doesn't want to, like, if the jump's not letting you in, moving the barrel around in this general, like, area will sometimes help you get a better jump. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna jump on this bumper. And since I don't have one, I'm gonna suck up this. So the way I'm gonna be approaching a lot of these enemies, I'm trying to suck up all the trash that I need for the enemies coming up as I'm looking for fast forwards that spawn out of the enemy that I just killed. And it's going to be the same way when I'm letting both the Dust Herder and the Octoballoon shoot. I need to be sucking up while it's shooting, just so I'm not, like, if I suck up anywhere, I'm just going to be wasting time waiting for them to shoot. But yeah, that's kind of how it's going to work here. So I'm going to be shooting this guy first, and then I suck up two here, like that. Nothing. Shoot this guy. Ignore these crystals since it's gonna take a little longer to get over there. You can if you want, but you have to wait on the crystal and him shooting, and it's just not worth the time loss. Well, probably is worth the time loss, let's be real, but just to be more efficient if you're still going for like the alternate 3-1 glitch, to not lose time on that. But so I have this extra barrel here. I'm going to go ahead and have this guy shoot at me. Say he doesn't give me one like he did there. You'd kill that guy and then do a long shot to that guy. Get one here. Oh, he gave me a fast forward. Good. Shoot this guy, suck up this barrel. And then you want to suck up suck up the trash for this guy coming up as this guy is shooting. With the way he shot, there's a lot of areas where he can shoot where the barrel will just drop off here, 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 here. So you want him to shoot here, like that. So you don't want to stop anywhere in this general area, otherwise he's going to shoot over there. But then, yeah, shoot that. Look for the crystals. If you have like 2 fast forwards. If you don't have like 2 fast forwards up until this point, you're going to want to go for the alternate rewind glitch as well. You want to keep paying attention, depending on how your luck is. You want to be paying attention to these barrels coming up. If that guy hasn't like if no one's giving you fast forwards, and that guy that's your last guy, you only wait for the sticks. But if there's like if you see a barrel come down, you'd want to do that first. And then kill him. And then go over here. Alright. Let's suck up my barrel. Oh, I didn't have a barrel. Okay, let's just do this guy. Alright. From the top. Gonna see what I get. Right? This is pretty much gambling the level. Oh, nice. Instantly. I missed that guy. My bad. Nothing. Hey, look. We got the sticks. Let's see how long it would have taken here. Yeah, sometimes it just takes that long, and it take even longer. Alright, how you approach doing this 16-ton clip, it's a bit finicky. I'm going to show you like the easy way, but depending on what your trash order is, there's some strats you can and can't do. For example, there's the easiest way you can go about this is using the bell to clip in from this side. However, the thing about the stick strat is that this thing only has 1 HP of health. So I shoot it, it's down to 0. So when I shoot it again, it's dead. So you can't rely on this strat that I'm going to show you here first. You can shoot. So going in here like this, going forward and shooting this, it's going to clip you in. And you can suck this back in because you need it for the next clip coming up. And then you shoot it there and then do whatever you're going to do, right? Depending on how you want to go in, say if you're you have the barrel here and you don't want to instantly go in like how I'm going to show you, you would do this first. Shoot the barrel there, go in here like this, shoot, and then sucking up this first. Either or, it depends on what you go for first. You set that up, then do your alternate rewind glitch just like this, right? Though, since you're making that exploding barrel have like 1 health, which means it's gonna explode on the next the second hit instead of the third one. So this one actually is a little harder since you only have like 1 chance here. Oh look, an example of. Okay, no, I didn't have it fully in there. Never mind. Alright. I'm going to talk about getting out now. Let's wait for the rewind to stop. So, the original method that I used to go for was to like line it up, say kind of like this, and then you would go out of the bell, and you would fall to the ground and jump. It's just like the 2-3 one, except it's kind of whack. Honestly, I hated it, and I'll explain the new way, but from here. Yeah, it's so annoying. This one needs to be a little closer, I think. A little less close. Like, I'm going through. Yeah, and you would fall. You would. It's really hard and it's really annoying. Well, it's not actually really hard compared to most of the clips in the game, but it feels inconsistent. But there's a new, not a new version, but I discovered a new way of getting through here and a new way of clipping. It's not really a new way since the way that I'm going to show you how to clip was done in 3.2 with the fridge clip going out. The basis of this clip, I call it sap clipping. The sap stands for suck and pull, and this is the first one where I discovered it in, or started using it in, intentionally. Sucking any piece of trash that your sweeper can't suck up, such as a tier 2 trash when you have a tier 1 trash, or a tier 3 trash when you have a tier 2, or a tier 3, you have a tier 1, just like in this situation. It pushes you, it kind of like sucks you in. And it kind of like sucks you up in a position where you can't move. I guess that's in general with when you're sucking up anyway. But say if there's another piece of trash next to that 16-ton weight or tier 2 or tier 3 trash, the game's gonna like kind of suck you in a way to kind of like, I don't know what it's exactly doing, but it like sucks you in a specific direction. with this specific direction that it does it in, if the piece of trash is kind of wedged or you're like in the piece of trash, it kind of just pulls you into it, into the geometry, and from here, oops, okay, maybe not with this one. That one should work. I was pretty much in the 16-ton weight. Depending on what your setup looks like, you can really just pull yourself in and hold forward. But it's pretty forgiving, honestly. Yeah, if there's like a gap right there, it'll pull you into the left. But you need to kind of close the gap a little bit. So that should work. But yeah, I'm like, you can see my foot's in there. I'm holding forward. I'm just out like that. Sometimes it'll pull you in directly from this side. It shouldn't ever drop you down since you're still on the ground. Like how sometimes you would, the next clip I'm going to show you. Like, it shouldn't make you fall like that. Right, let me show you the other ways to, kind of clip through here. You need to be careful, because sometimes you can clip through the floor like that. There's a bit of finesse in how you want to drop here, but the next one I'm going to show you is the pause buffer method, which if you're familiar with the 3-2 clip, the heavy clip without trash, it works the same way here. I like to line myself up with the one in the 16-ton weight, to where it kind of shows up like this, and then holding left FDM, I pause, and there's a certain camera state that the game goes in when you're starting to fall, and then once I see this state, I'm gonna hold left without FDM, trying to go into like the little corner there while jumping, and it should get me. It kind of gets me in this little position. Oh, do that again. I can't get into it, but the little corner that's right there. Sometimes you just like run into the wall. Anyway, the next method is literally just falling through and then you jump through. It's a bit hard to do, and I claw for this since you have to move the camera while you're jumping. But from here, like when I get to this point of the platform, I switch to a claw. I switch to claw here. Where I have my right index finger on A and my right thumb on the thumbstick, so I can jump just like that. So I get to a point where Blinx cannot fall through the ground here, so when you turn your camera to the right like this, you'll fall through the ground as you're turning. There's a certain point where you fall through the ground where you want to turn the camera the opposite direction so that your FDM, while you're still holding this direction, is can allow you to get the distance to go on the land on the opposite side after you fall through the ground. So there's a certain point where you want to turn the camera after that. So you can kind of do it like this, set yourself up to run at the wall, and then you're going to turn your camera. And sometimes you just don't get it, and that's why I kind of have the other method of doing this. It's kind of my backup. So let's try this again. Just pay attention to what I'm doing on my my controller overlay. You go right and then left, right and then left. I guess left on the thumbs. Is it left on the thumbstick? No, right on the thumbstick and then left on the thumbstick. It feels really good to get, and I have been getting good at it, so. And then do whichever you need to do. Something to note is, with the saps clipping, you can do it with any object. So if by the off chance that your barrel gets destroyed, it falls to the ground, there are other ways to get through the 16-ton weight if you've gotten the metal already and you don't have the bell set up. So by the off chance you have another one of these, you kind of just wedge it in. Kind of like that. Suck up. Get out. Try it with the barrel here. Suck up. Should be out. I think it can work with this, I'm pretty sure. Might be a little finicky, though. Okay, I wouldn't trust that. But, I know it does work with the ball. So let me get the ball out. Ball one's a little weird. This would be like the last thing you would want to do. If you're like really desperate. And it probably works with any of these other trash if you bring them in, but it's pretty versatile with the sap skip. You just need a tall enough object so you don't kind of go up into it. The bench kind of does that. Alright, last thing I want to kind of go over real quick. You might have an extra pause if you do the fast forward skip, or like or you do the fast forward or the stick setup. And it's not useless. What you can do if you have that pause in 2-2, this is where you would use it. So it's assuming you get everything here, right? And for the bridge coming up, you're gonna use the pause for it. If you're gonna do the pause strat, and I recommend doing so you just get it out of your inventory or your time controls. You either do the 60 ton weight going this way, which I'm notoriously bad at, or the way I discovered it. You do another sap skip. Haha. Oh, missed. Get your rewind. And then use the pause and go on the bridge. Get this medal. But yeah, hopefully this isn't too long of a video, since I've been recording for 47 minutes. I'll try to edit this down, but that's kind of the gist of 1.3 as a whole. Sometimes in the future, I am gonna make a full all-metal original release guide, and I'll go a little more in depth with each other level. But this kind of serves as practice for me, and how I want to explain stuff, and editing in general. So cool. Hopefully this is helpful.